Looks like the gambling game is up. And just as I expected, or calculated, you lost. Well, it was quite easy to tell that you were going to lose. You were shaking so much, and the constant tapping on the table was starting to tell me that your cards weren't good at all. But I'm sure that would have been okay. It's just that you completely lost to a student council member. You do know that puts you in the hole. In a big hole. Especially since you asked for more than you had. Well, control really is slipping right through your hands like water. Was that too harsh? Well, I mean, you did try your best. But you tried your best against a council member. That was your one mistake, challenging me. Though I guessed it's pretty good practice. I mean, practicing against a council member. Let me guess, you want to fight against me again once you get your badge. Or should I say, your kitty tag. Dog tag. Oh well. It doesn't matter. You're a pet now. You can't rise from a hole. At least, I don't think you will. You don't seem like you have it in you. Well, I mean, you can always take a step back and get a breather in. You don't have to fight another council member immediately. You want me to help you get back on your feet? I mean, well, you're asking someone like me. You're asking me? I don't understand. You got beat by me. Aren't you supposed to be a bit more mad? Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad to know I'm not really that scary, but I think you're over-exaggerating a bit. I guess I can help you since I did kind of completely destroy your self-confidence of gambling. But I can't help that your skills are just so awfully wretched. If I'm even being generous at that. I mean, really, who taught you how to gamble? If you gamble like that, I'd believe even a fly taught you how to gamble. Obviously, that's a bad thing. We're gonna have to work a lot on your gambling skills. Luck is obviously a lot of things that you can rely on, but it shouldn't be the only thing you rely on. There's other things that can help with you with gambling. Like watching someone else. Almost like detecting their movements. Like a scanner. It helps a lot, actually, once you get the hang of it. And then you start to learn their casual signs that they do, their body language, their slightest movements, even the way they look at you or look at other things. And it's all quite interesting. And you can learn a lot more than that. I even learned what cards you had before you put them down. Just because of your eye movements, the constant tapping on the table, and the slight movements of your tongue in your mouth, even though it was closed. it was just too precise. Everything seemed like it was in place, and once you put those cards down, I already knew you had already lost to me. I could have stopped the game at the beginning and already told you that I had already won. But, of course, we had to put the luck into the 3 cards that were flipped over. That could have been the end of the game for me if it was simply 3 different cards. But I put all my luck into it. Just slid it on, and it slid right on back, and then I got my victory. As a council member, I take a lot of pride into my detective skills. I see around everything. But I don't rely on status and stats all the time. Sometimes you have to look at the actual person and determine if they're actually, good at gambling. I mean, of course, your gambling was awful. I've never seen someone gamble worse. I could have went over to a 3-year-old and gave him cards and they would have done better. But, of course, I'm not trying to insult you. It's just... I understand. My apologies for getting into it a bit. We really do have to work on your skills. We can start next week when school's back up. When you gamble against people, try looking at their eye movements. That'll be your first test. You can learn either by the reflection in their eyes or the way that their eyes are moving, or the direction too. Or maybe even how many times they blink. The slight twitches. Or maybe the way the wind is blowing on their eyelashes. I know, it's all unnatural things. Some things that they can't even control, but that's kind of a psychological reaction. Something in their brain telling them that their eyes needs to twitch. And it does. So if you think about it, everything is happening everything is happening naturally. That's why it's so easy to pinpoint those things, because it's natural. I mean, if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to catch those things and find the outliers, rat them out, and just like that, you have yourself an open book. It's like finding the right key to open the lock on a diary. And once you open the diary, you know everything. It's like you don't even have to look at the book anymore to know. The memories just suddenly straight into your mind and you just know everything. It's like you're them. Sorry, my interest is showing. It really is quite delicious. I mean, they don't know what you're planning, because you're just so good at hiding your own body movements. You just become as still as a doll. You only look 2 ways, at your cards and at the opponent, because that will put you at an absolute stalemate. They won't even be able to read anything off of you. They can't look into your dead eyes and see it. Well, I don't have dead eyes. My eyes are As you can see, a nice shade of yellow. But even with that nice shade of yellow, there's no glare gonna bounce off of it. You're doomed if you ever see me in a battle. You're basically never going to get past me. As a council member, I take great pride in that. I mean, it's kind of what I'm known for. I do have a name, a very, very lame name, like the librarian or the card scanner. But I think it's a great name for someone like me. I just open and suddenly I'm there. It's almost disappointing that I haven't found a match. But maybe. Well, even though you're trash at gambling, you seem to have won a few matches that are very difficult. Of course, not for someone of my caliber, but they're impressive. You're not using any technique or anything, it's just pure luck. Well, that's what I thought at first. I see a lot of potential in you, and I think you should know that I think you're a perfect match for me. I mean, not in the intimate way, of course, but in more of a matchmaking way. That still sounds a bit romantic. It's just in a gambling way, of course. As long as it doesn't include, strip poker or something. I just think that maybe one day you could beat me if I mentor you enough. Or maybe if I help you enough to where you can fly on your own and learn more things as you go. Heck, I think you could even beat the entire student council, even the president. I know that's kind of setting my hopes very high for you, but I know you can do it. Even with the trash gambling skills you have now, you have determination to get these things, these matches. You have so much determination to get through them, and your good sportsmanship just brings it all around. It's just a full circle of a good game, a good match, and an intense gamble. Really, I thought you had me there. Something about your movements was a bit off. I almost guessed your card wrong. You threw me off. And I'm known to throw other people off. I've never been thrown off in my life, if I'm being honest. Not even when I was beginning. And that is truly impressive. I think that may be where I'm getting all of your potential from. I mean, I think you have the potential to do anything if you put your mind to it. So don't ever let that determination of fire burn out through your soul. Instead, let it rain, let it conquer. I think you'll really have something going. You'll really be making it to the top. I like that about you. Your blunt honesty, even if it does make you lose a bit of matches. But there's something about it that makes you such a likable person. I I mean, I'm... I don't like you or anything. I just think your gambling skills are... They could use some work, of course, but you really have something going for you. Okay, we've talked long enough. School is about to end, and I'm sure you want to get home. And thank you for the match, of course. I hope to see you again. Pet. Wolf. I'm a little dog with a gambling addiction. I thought attention to detail would save me from the hole, but I ended up slipping straight in. Don't be afraid to come close. I don't bite. Bark.